Well, you can see that cedar tree in the background. We're standing on the edge of the bean field, and I forgot that spot over the summer, and we'll walk over here and I'll show you what my forgetfulness has created, and maybe I can resurrect it and get something in there. It's the 21st of August, and I forgot all about that area. So we'll wander over here and I'll show you what awaits my effort. Well, here's what awaits me. I forgot all about this spot. Head-high velvet leaf and water hemp. I'm going to try to eradicate this stuff out of here, and because these 10 billion seeds of water hemp, nothing else. I just want to get this chopped out of here. Why it's still, it hasn't fell off yet, but some of the velvet leaf, they're flowering. So I was going to come back in here and plant this area in here. It's not all that big, but pretty hard to get in. So I'm going to commence trying to do some chopping and hand cutting and see how that goes. You notice all these wannabe seeds. They haven't went to seed yet, but they're working on it. So we're going to hand eradicate them. As usual, the weather people in this state suck. They couldn't predict their one weather pattern. They say, oh, it's going to be cloudy. Well, what the hell is the sun coming out for then? You know, they can't predict rain. I don't even know why they even have meteorologists anymore. Every time I hit one of these weeds and cut it off, it's going to motivate me as thinking a meteorologist, and I'll whack the hell out of them. I mean, it gets old that they can't predict weather from 1 hour to the next, but yet they can put it on the Etch-a-Sketch computer imaging and show it rain where it's not raining, tell you that it's going to be cloudy and the sun comes out. It's like, why even be bothered with those clowns? Let's get to whacking them. Goes pretty fast. Whacked them off pretty good, so we'll get them whacked down, get them piled up, and like I said, I forgot all about this, or I would have been using some burn down on it. Just another method of weed eradication. It won't take that long, but I don't want the sun to come out either. We'll pile these up and haul them out of here. I don't want them to, like I say, this water hemp's intense in here, but we'll get the cutting on them, and before long we'll have that all cleaned out. So we'll do our best to get them out. I wished I would have been in here and knew this was going on prior to this, but oh well. Just the way it goes. You can't hit them, can't hit a home run every time. But we're getting them out of there. These corn knives were used extensively in my day in walking beans, and that was before herbicide, and you can see how effective they are. They cut the weeds off, and I wish like I say, I wish I'd been on this water hemp, because it's got millions and millions of seeds. So we'll keep working at it. We're going to get rid of that. First we'll cut all the velvet leaf down. Now you can see in a very short time we've chopped that velvet leaf down, and the reason I had to chop it down is because of the root system. You're not going to, well, nah, you'd pull your butthole inside out pulling on them. But we are going to try to pull this pigweed water hemp. We're going to try to pull it out, pile it up, and get it out of here. That way I got it completely gleaned from the soil. Yeah, that's coming out pretty fast. That's what I thought after that 1.5 inch rain. Thank God. So we'll just start stacking this stuff up and carrying it out. It ain't all about equipment, it ain't all about herbicide. You can do it with what God gave you. That's how we started this human race. Hell, white man didn't even know how to plant corn. If it wasn't for the native Indians, they would have been starving. But, they had to show them the value of nitrogen in their corn crop through a dead fish. So we'll just get these weeds all out of here. And like I said, this is my fault because I shouldn't have never let them grow this high. So my punishment is you're seeing it, getting them out with these. So I'll keep working on this. You can see it down there, all those little white specks. Thousands of seeds come off that water hemp as you're pulling it out. Now, I'm going to have to come up with a plan to deal with that. I can bury it deep and hope that it won't come up. But that's where, this is a good example. This is where your native seed bank comes into play, ladies and gentlemen. There's the seed maker, falls on the ground, gets worked into the dirt, and when you come in and till it up, that is the predominant, it's ready to grow. So we're going to learn something from this. I might come in there with a torch and try to burn it. Just blaze it, because there's seed all over the place in there. Another thing to remember, when you get this much seed that's falling off by the wind, deer knocking it over or whatever, Roundup ain't going to help you at this stage, because that seed's going to fall off, it's going to lay in the ground. It's going to be like a frost seeding method next spring. So what we're going to do, when we get these pulled out, we're not going to transport them out, we're going to stick them under that cedar tree, because everywhere I would walk with that, carrying them out of here, I might as well have my earthway cedar on and spreading water hemp seed in and out of here through this cornfield. So we'll get it out, we'll shove it up under that cedar tree, doesn't get any sunlight under there, and wish for the best. I mean, at least we'll know it didn't go, well, it's about, I'd have to walk about 200 yards out of here, and so I'd have 200 yards of seeding water hemp trail, and I don't want that. So when we get this all pulled, we will store it underneath the cedar tree, and hopefully nature will take its course, just decompose right there, and it's not going to germinate because of the lack of sunshine, and it'll just rot out. And anyhow, that's my plan. Yeah, I want to show you another thing about dirt. It's called the tilth of it. Now this is August. This ground's been here. We plowed it up back in early April. But here's what's nice about doing deep tillage every so often. Now watch how easy these weeds come out of here. You get very little effort. See that dirt? See how tender it is? That's the tilth of the dirt. When you're running around year after year with an ATV or a shallow tillage tool, regardless, you're not going to get that mellow dirt like that, because what it's doing is compacting it. And this makes real good root system grow because of the softness. It's called the tilth of the soil. And this soil has good tilth to it. Now, it doesn't always stay that way, because like I said, over time, it'll get compacted. And if you're doing food plots, sooner or later, that's going to get caught up with you. Because your seed, especially those annuals, there's, you know, the small seeds, the perennials, they're just going to have a hard time getting a root started in that compacted soil. So you just seen it. I mean, these weeds, like this weed right here, it's a pretty good sized weed. There's minimal amount of effort. And you see all the dirt that come up with that? The whole root come out. Now, if that was in compacted soil, you'd break it off. So keep that in mind when you're preparing your seed beds. Yeah, I know this is far away from deer hunting, but this is a lesson to learn. Remember when we were talking about canopies and sun being canopied out? Okay, right here, look at this robust crop of water hemp. And as we walk over here to the rows of corn, that's what canopy does for you, folks. It shades them out, shades the weeds out. Fast canopy keeps your soil from being weed inundated. And like I say, all I got to do is turn around here. Right here is where the sun hit the field. And that's what will happen if you don't get fast canopy on soybeans or corn, because those weeds will outdistance them in a hurry. Well, as you can see, now we've got that corner out. This is the west side of the tree. We got some large piles of weeds here. Pulled the whole root system and everything out, but boy, we got a ton of native seed on the ground too. So anyhow, well, and this is what's working with nature. You're working with the sun. Now that sun could come out any minute, and it's really been hot on this side. So this side's done. Now I can go on the shade side. This is what you call getting close to your soil. Getting rid of any weed residue before you plant. These are a rake. That's what God gave you. Man built the rake to take the place of these. So we'll get it on up through there. We're making progress. And I know this ain't everybody's cup of tea, but that's why they call me the non-typical Norwalkian. Because I got non-typical ways, my friend. You see this energy spent? I can turn it around. Spend that same kind of energy on trespasser too. Heaven forbid him. Yeah, I guess those meteorologists are going to get back at me. They're going to make it rain on me before I get out of here. But as I finish this small portion up, I want to dedicate this video to all my subscribers for over the years, and just to show you that food plots are whatever you make them. But in the future, when you see one of these guys pushing product and yakking, running their mouth about poor man's food plot, just remember this video. Take it out by the roots. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is how a poor man would be food plotting. And like I said, I dedicate this to all my subscribers. And I hope I've helped some of you somewhere along the line. Not always right, but what you see is nothing but true American hard work. And wouldn't have it any other way. You see all the piles of residue now that we pulled out of the ground. Now, like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these piles and I'm going to keep them on site. I don't want to take them down through the corn rows because it'd just be shaking that seed out. So what we'll do is we'll get them up underneath this cedar tree. Then we'll put the bigger weeds on top of them. So that's what we'll do now. I don't know if this has any merit, but it makes sense to me, because I wouldn't want to drag these all around the farm with those. Well, there you go. I didn't get the time. It was about 3:30 when we started, so it's 6 o'clock now, and it looks a lot different than when we came in here at 3:30. This was the original view right here, and you see this is not going to be a large food plot, but it will have some merit, and it definitely won't have the weeds there. So I'm going to just let this dry and not walk on it anymore and get off of it, and then bring my leaf blower in tomorrow and blow from the field into those trees. Well, here it is, Thursday morning. We're up here on this micro plot, and we're going to go with the snow plow. That's what this was designed for minimal amount of tillage. It's about 55 degrees out, and what we're going to do this morning is we're going to use this leaf blower to blow the bad guys away, because we got an overpopulation of them in this area. That might not be a bad idea for the police to use in certain areas to blow the bad guys away. Just blow them off the face. Now those seeds that were on the ground, I'm going to use this to blow them into those trees. I'm not going to get them all, but it's just my non-typical theory that I can blow some of that residue off of here. And like I said, I don't want those seeds in the ground. You seen them the other night. So we'll get this cranked up and get it seeing what the results are. Okay, now that you see we blew around this area, and we got a lot of seed blown in there that was on that ground. Now this is not going to get it all. I'm not going to tell you it's going to get it all, but it's definitely cleaner than it was. And now we're going to take and rough it up with this little hoe. Yeah, now that we got the undesirables blowed out of town, we're going to put some fertilizer, triple 13 on. Doesn't take a whole lot around this little spot, but it is advisable to put your fertilizer on. Then we're going to scratch the surface up and scratch it in. So let's get the cranking. We'll go up through here just to take that residue out. Doesn't take much. You can see that works pretty good. This hose is pretty good, but it's got a little short handle on it. And it takes that stuff right out. Get that loosened up like that. Incorporated that fertilizer. The reason I'm doing this video is for guys that have small areas that want to plant a food plot. But keep in mind, these micro small areas can be cropped off in a very short time. So that can be counterproductive. You know, deer come in, several of them come in, and one night if they got the right crop, they can devastate it, and then 2 nights it can be gone. And if you're hunting on the weekends, you can come back and your food plot will completely be devastated. That's why it's important to have as much as you can, and the variety. So let's get this going. Yeah, here's the reason we've cut those velvet leaf off. You aren't going to pull that size of a stump out. I mean, a root out. That's why I chopped them off. Now we just hoed them out of there. That would have been a tough pull. Now, for some of you guys that have less than desirable food plots. It's because you don't do proper seed bed. I've seen them out there chilling up weeds. There's weed residue all over the grass. You're not getting seed to soil contact at all. And this is how you have to get it done. If you don't want to do it, I suppose you don't have to. Hell, you don't have to wipe your ass when you should either. You know, you don't have to brush your teeth. You don't have to shave your face. You don't have to do a lot of things in today's society. And you know what? You're rewarded with your efforts. They're not very good. And even if you do everything right, doesn't mean you're going to have spectacular. It just means that you in your mind, you know you did it the way it was meant to be done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just seen firsthand. I'll show you. If you got the desire in here, it can happen out here in the field. Corn knife, garden hoe, a garden rake, and a weed whacker, a manual weed whacker. I want to take you around. Now, there's the time. So you can see we haven't been out here all that long today. We've got this completely cultivated, and I just want to show you what this looked like. Here's the picture of what it looked like when we walked in here on Tuesday afternoon. Here's what it looks like on Thursday morning. All done by hands and manual tools. Now, if you remember when we walked in here, hope the sun's not in there, this was 6-foot high weeds. Now this is what you call a weed-free seed bank. Not a bunch of residue on top of the ground that you scuffed around and said you didn't have the time. There's one guy on the channel that says he doesn't have the time to spend in the food plots. He's got to spend it with his family. Well, that's fine and dandy about spending time with your family, but what do you do when you go hunting? You know? But as you can see, this is what's meant by a weed-free food plot, seed bed. From what you just seen with those 6-foot weeds back to this in just a few short hours with the willpower and manual labor. Now the instructions are on the back of this no plow product. And you can see you can plant it with the machinery or you can plant it by hand. But as we elected, it says because seed must reach the ground to grow, remove weeds and grasses by mowing, spraying, and remove clippings if possible to eliminate growth competition. Now that's really important to get that residue off the field. Now you see me do that with a pulverizer on the tractor in a bigger field. But here you still got the same philosophy. You've got to get that residue off the field to get your germination right. So, like I said, and this is an ultra small food plot. It's just basically another tidbit on the salad bar. And I had this little spot, and this works out really good because me doing this by hand is a lot more instructional, beneficial for you guys that are less fortunate to have any kind of tillage equipment. So you can do it, I did it, you can do it. Let's get the seed to the ground. And by the way, this will cover 22,000 square feet, basically a half an acre. It's relevantly cheap, and it's one of the top food plot blends that Whitetail Institute sells over the years. So let's get the seed on. Now that we've seeded it, we're just going to take the back of the rake and lightly drag it in. Because it's never too hard, just put some dirt over it, not much. Just going down through there. Doesn't take long. The dirt is really, like I said, the tilt of the soil out here is really good. And it just helps to make sure you got seed to soil contact. Probably wouldn't even need to do that, but we're doing it. And that's just to ensure that it got a little bit of seed covered on there. Goes really, really fast. Not rocket science. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I probably didn't have 3, maybe 4 hours, half a day in this little plot doing it all by hand. So best of luck to you in your endeavors, and remember, you can't plant them too big and you can't plant them too small, but you got to plant them right.